bawat bantayog na gaya nito, paalala sa mga nangyari noong lumipas, kumakatawan sa mga tao at nangyaring dapat nating ikarangal.
On July 7, 1892, the arrest and execution of Rizal was spread through newspaper. Because of what happened, a small group of patriotic Filipinos on Azcaraga Street, or now the Claro M. Recto Avenue. They decided to create a secret society and called Kataas-Taasan, Kagalang-Galangan ng Katipunan na Anak ng Bayan, or Supreme and Venerable Association of the Son of the People. To show patriotism and love of thing of a Filipino, Dave the Blood Compact, the members agreed to recruit Filipinos to become through the triangle method and later adapt the system similar to Montessori to speed up the Katipunans and aim structure. Primary objectives of Katipunans are civic objective, political objective, and moral objective. Civic objective was based on principle of self-help and the defense of the weak and poor. Political objective to separate Philippines from Spain to gain the independence, and moral objective is to teach good manner, hygiene, and moral character. They were also urged to help sick comrades and their family. In case of death, the society paid the funeral expenses. Government of Katipunan. Bonifacio borrowed the structure of La Liga Filipina. In the result, the Katipunan had three governing bodies. Those are Kataas-Taasang Sanggunian or Supreme Council, Sangguniang Bayan or Provincial Council, Sangguniang Balanghay or the Popular Council. There were also the Sangguniang Hukuman or Judicial Council, which passed judgment on members who violated the rules of the society. The secret chamber was composed of Andres Bonifacio, Emilio Jacinto, and Pio Valenzuela, sentence member who exposed the secrets of the Katipunan.
The Katipunan elections. Because the triangle method was slow and ineffective, everyone was permitted to recruit as many members as they can. The society's number increased in 3 months. Therefore, they conducted an election. First Supreme Council, Deodato Arellano, the Supremo, Andres Bonifacio, Comptroller, Ladislao Diwa, Fiscal, Teodoro Plata, Secretary, Valentin Diaz, Treasurer. Few months passed. Bonifacio observed that Arellano was not very active and moved to replace Arellano. Second Supreme Council. Roman Basa, the Supremo. Andres Bonifacio, Fiscal. Jose Toriano Santiago, Secretary. Vincent Molina, Treasurer. Councilors. Bricio Brigito Pantas, Restito Javier, Teodoro Plata, Teodoro Gonzalez, and Ladislao Diwa. Early in 1895, Bonifacio was not contented with the performance of Basa as Supremo. Had himself elected to replace Basa, he remained the Supremo of the Katipunan until the establishment of a revolutionary government in Tejeros, Cavite. Katipunan membership. Katipunan members were divided in 3 grades. First grade, Katipon, Anak ng Bayan. Second grade, Kawal, Gomburza. The third grade, Bayani, Rizal. In order to recognize each other in the streets, each one has to place the palm of his right hand on his breast, and as he passed the other members, he would close his hand and bring his index finger and his thumb together. The Katipunan codes. To reduce the danger of discovery, Bonifacio invented a system of writing for the Katipuneros. 3 more Katipunan alphabets were devised by Bonifacio. Changes in the codes of the Katipunan were necessitated by the discovery of the previous codes by the Spaniards and the people considered as enemies by the Katipunan.
The Katipunan flag. With the help of Bonifacio's wife, Gregorio de Jesus, a flag was made. It consisted of a red rectangular piece of a red cloth with a 3-letter K arranged horizontally in the middle. After the revolution on August 1869, it was changed into red rectangular piece of a cloth with a scene and 8 white rays in the middle. Bonifacio had his own personal flag. It was consisted of white sand with an indefinite number of white rays, and below the sand were 3 Ks arranged horizontally. The Katipunan techniques. To guide the Katipuneros leading a highly moral life, Bonifacio prepared of 10 commandments, katungkulan gagawin ng mga anak ng bayan or duties of the sons of the people. While Emilio Jacinto wrote the Kartilya, which consisted of 13 teachings. Woman in the Katipunan, only wife, sister, daughter of Katipunero, and few selected women could be eligible for the membership. Women's Supreme Council, Josefa Rizal is a president, Gregorio de Jesus is the vice president, and Marino Dizon, secretary, and Angelica Lopez Rizal is a fiscal. Katipunera have their duties in life, helping male members in the work of propagating the ideas and ideals of the society. Make the police authorities believe that no Katipunan meeting was being held in a house, while Gregorio de Jesus frequently risked her life by keeping Katipunan documents in her.
Kalayaan. 2 Visayan patriots, Candido, Iban, and Francisco del Castillo gave the Katipunan money to purchase the printing press. The templates to be used in printing Katipunan newspaper was purchased by Jacinto. Other templates were stolen from a Spanish printing press. Alpiano Fernandez and Faustino Duque, both Katipuneros, managed the press. Dr. Pio Valenzuela suggests the name of the newspaper, Kalayaan. The Kalayaan contained the article written by Bonifacio, Jacinto, and Valenzuela. To mislead the Spanish authorities, they put Yokohama as the place of publication and Marcelo H. del Pilar as the editor. Jacinto had to write manifesto, and Bonifacio composed a poem, Pag-ibig sa Tinubuang Lupa, or Love of Country. Instead, Jacinto used Pinkian and Dimas Ilog. Bonifacio used Agapito, Bagong Bayan, and Valenzuela used Madlang Away as their pen names. After the distribution of the Kalayaan in the different province and influence, many Filipinos, Fernandez and Duque destroyed the Kalayaan to prevent the Spanish authorities from constructing it.
Katipunan's twin soul. Andres Bonifacio, born on November 30, 1863, in a small nipa house in Escoraga Street. His father is Santiago Bonifacio, a tailor boatman, former municipal official, and his mother is Catalina de Castro, a Spanish-Chinese-Filipino worker at cigarette factory. His parents died while he was in teens. Because of that, he had to support his siblings. He sold canes and paper funds. He worked as a messenger of J.M. Fleming Corporation, an agent of the German trading firm, Pressel and Corporation. He wasn't able to finish the equivalent grade 4 of today. He read newspapers and books written in Spanish at night. He read the Spanish version of Rizal's Noli Me Tangere and El Filibusterismo. He also read books on the French Revolution of 1789. Because of the execution of Rizal, he felt sad and angry, causing to fight and justice for liberty. He called the Spaniards white cattle, poem Tapunan ng Lingap, and ang mga Cazadores attacked the Spaniards furiously. Huling hikbik ng Pilipinas openly called for independence from colonial rule. Emilio Jacinto was born on Tondo, Manila, December 15, 1875. His father died early, which compelled his mother to send him to his uncle's house for support. He studied at San Juan de Latran. He studied law at University of Santo Tomas. At age of 18, he left his studies and joined the Katipunan. He wrote a Spanish poem, A Mi Patria, or To My Country. He also wrote Kartilya, Liwanag at Dilim, Pahayag, sa mga kababayan and others. He led the rebels in Laguna, and he died in Mahayhay, Laguna on April 6, 1899.
Pilipinas ko mahal. Pilipinas ko mahal. Pilipinas ko mahal. Pilipinas ko med dosterthonken med adregna och sakit.
Primer of Katipunan, also known as Kartilya ng Katipunan, is written on 1892 by Emilio Jacinto. For who it was written, it was made mainly for the Katipuneros. Upon joining to be one of the Katipuneros, members are required to read the Kartilya and cling to its code of conduct to change the Philippines for the better. Early Katipunero believes that changing the way Filipino thought and acted was the most important things to be considered. In 1896, there is what we call Duties of the Sons of the People that was written by Rj Bonifacio that is strictly followed by the members of the organization. This decalogue embodied what Bonifacio's believed. Bonifacio would then later adopt Jacinto's Kartilya ng Katipunan as the official teaching of the Katipunan. He adopted the Kartilya and named it Decalogue, the mainly focus on one's duty to God, country, neighbor, and family. The Katipunan and himself tells all about honor, charity, and self-sacrifice for the beloved land, and also spoke and warned about traitor and disobedience in the race between Decalogue and Kartilya. Kartilya is more and much longer and more philosophical. It shows concept of virtuous living as lessons for self-reflection. The amazing side of the Kartilya is not only a leading for the Katipunan members, it embodied moral and nationalistic principles for all Filipinos. Emilio Jacinto was an eloquent and brave young man that brought him in the position for the brain of Katipunan. He wrote a newspaper entitled Kalayaan and was the author of Kartilya ng Katipunan. This is the guidebook for new members and current members of Katipunan. He was one of the highest-ranking officers in the Philippine Revolution and was one of the highest-ranking officers of the Revolutionary Society, kataas-taasan, kagalang-galangang Katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, or simply and more popularly called Katipunan, being a member of its Supreme Council. He was elected Secretary of the State for the Haring Bayang Katagalugan, a revolutionary government established during the outbreak of hostilities. He is popularly known in the Philippine history textbook as the basis of the Katipunan, while some content, he should be rightfully recognized as the brain of the revolution. a title given to Apolinario Mabini. Jacinto was present in the cry of Hugadlawin with Andres Bonifacio, the Supremo of the Katipunan, and others of its members which signated the start of the revolution against the Spanish colonial government in the island. His real name is Emilio Jacinto Edison and is from Tondo, Manila. He is known for his pen name Pinky Ann Di Masilaw Caelio. He was married to Catalina de Jesus, who was pregnant at the time of his death. The first edition of the Kartilya was written by Andres Bonifacio, but is later on revised as Decalogue by Emilio Jacinto.
Nakataas-taasan kagalang-galangan na katipunan ng mga anak ng bayan, KKK or Katipunan is arguably the most important organization formed in the Philippines. The two principal aims of the KKK as gathered from the writings of Bonifacio: unity of the Filipino people, separation from Spain by means of revolution. It was written to let the joining members of KKK to have a full knowledge and understanding of the principle they have to live by. The Kartilya ng Katipunan by G, on the other hand, was written for the Filipino people. It is composed of 14 rules that instruct the way Katipunero should behave. This is also treated as the Katipunan's Code of Conduct. Each paragraph is unique in such a way that they tackle different aspects of a person's life, in which case anyone may have different interpretation. Hence, it is only appropriate to have a better understanding or explanation to its content.
The first highlights the significance of living life with a purpose. A Katipunero who does not have a purpose lives is a useless life. This tenet actually defines what life is. Life is a gift given to everyone that must be treasured by making it meaningful through setting up goals and achieving it no matter how hard it is. The second rule is about doing what is right. A deed carried out for the sake of fame is not worthy of praise. There are certain things in life that would make others proud because of you, but sometimes it's done just to be popular. Everyone must bear in mind that doing good must be accompanied with humbleness. A deed that is done must be because of what someone really feels like doing to help other people. The third shows what the true meaning of kindness is. True act of kindness for a Katipunero is in the love and service he rendered to other people, and not the other way around. It only means that having an open hand to give help without expecting in return is one of the best examples to show an act kindness. The fourth rule highlights equality among people. Every Katipuneros are treated equally no matter what race or educational background he has. Status and identity will never be the reason for unequal treatment of people, whether they are Filipinos or not, rich or poor, men or women, and white or black. Nobody deserves to be discriminated. The fifth shows what honor should mean for a Katipunero. A true Katipunero values honor more than his personal interests. The sixth is about doing the walk the talk concept or putting into action the words that has been promised. A Katipunero who has a sense of shame must be a man of his own word. The seventh rule gives importance to how we manage our time and give our best like tomorrow ends, because time is as precious as a gold. A Katipunero must give importance to time. For the Katipunan, a time lost will never be back.
The eighth lesson simply tells everyone to fight for what is right and fight with the person who is at the right side. A Katipunero must protect the weak and fight for those who oppress the weak. The ninth is about the significance of trust that everyone must know how to keep confidential things in order to keep the trust that other people give. A Katipunero is careful with what he says and keeps the things that must be kept separate. The 10th principle is all about being able to lead the family. A Katipunero must lead his family to the right path. If the leader is consumed by evil, so does his followers. The 11th highlights everything a man must look at woman's identity. A Katipunero must give importance to woman. He must not see her as an object, nor pastime, that whenever a Katipunero sees a woman, he will remember his mother who nurtured him. The 12th principle gives importance to every action that one has to make. A Katipunero must not do the things that he does not want to be done by him. The 13th rule is about one's knowledge on how to have a right character in dealing with life. A Katipunero's life is not measured by what is his status in life nor with the things he possesses. Instead, it is in his character and his love for the native land. The last shows the idea of the author's desire. It emphasizes the hope he has for everyone and believes that every sacrifices that a Katipunero make will always be worth it.
Kartilya ng Katipunan is a set of principles that show the path on how each and every one of us must live our lives by the living to the fullest through good values. I believe that this Kartilya ng Katipunan was made to change the thoughts of every Filipino's unacceptable behavior. Katipunan was not just an organization working towards the freedom of the Filipinos. They built on the ideological and political foundations constructed by the men and women who sacrificed themselves because of their love for the country and for the people. Just like Rizal, who pushed Filipinos to think critically with full understanding. This code of conduct was made to inform people of what they deserve to know for making their lives better. Going to the past, the journey to freedom is long and hard. The price of bravery and principle is high. Back then, they thought that the day of freedom will forever remain a dream. And through Kartilya ng Katipunan, Filipinos were united to fight for what they owned. Kartilya ng Katipunan became an oath that every Katipuneros must follow to show their determination in being part of the people who wanted to change. In a while, we have a different interpretation with what was intended by Bonifacio. There is one thing that everyone can agree on. Kartilya ng Katipunan was meant to guide us in living our everyday life to the fullest. More importantly, highlight the importance of having the right attitude towards other people.
Primer of the Katipunero served as a great contribution on learned history and to all people as well, leaving a good moral character and shaping ourselves to mold a better world for the Katipunan leaderships. Such as Emilia Cinto, the ideas of right and light, katwiran and kaliwanagan were of utmost importance. They saw themselves as not only as inheritors of the age of enlightenment, but intellectual and moral revolutionaries fighting to create and define a nation and culture that was post-enlightenment, that was no longer shackled by the ideological and colonial restraints of the West, but a country that adopted and merged the best of Spain, the United States, France, and our own unique culture and society in support of being Filipino.
Pilipinas ko mahal.